What's up, guys? It is Sunday, so we're going to knock off another section of the City collection. We're actually going to finish up the I section this week and start on the J's next week. As you can probably hear, I am very stuffy. I'm going to try to make it through this video without sneezing or coughing or anything else. You guys know there's always something wrong with me, it feels like, but my sinuses and everything are giving me fits this week, but we're gonna power through and continue on with the CD collection. First up, I have a sludge metal band out of the UK. This is Iron Monkey with their kind of comeback release, 913. This was released in 2017. They had a couple full lengths that were released in the late 90s, and this was kind of a reunion comeback type album. Pretty good. They describe themselves as sludge core. They're kind of, for me, kind of a sludge metal / post metal type band. The sludge core definitely, that moniker definitely kind of fits their general aesthetic because they have some hardcore elements going on in their music as well. Pretty solid release. I got this in a Relapse grab bag at one point, and it sometimes those albums and releases you get in those Relapse grab bags are hit or miss, but that was one that I did find enjoyable. Next up, I've been getting a lot of stuff from the country of Chile lately, and I don't know why, but I've just been stumbling on a lot of material from that country that I really enjoy, and this is another one of those releases. This is Iron Spell with their release entitled Electric Conjuring. This was released, I think, in 2020, maybe 2021. I'm not entirely sure, but I picked this up from the Life After Death distro a little bit ago. It's been a little while now, but I really like this. It's got this throwback traditional heavy metal. Kind of sounds like it's straight out of the 80s. It's like some 80s worship heavy metal going on this. Witchcraft themed. Very fun release. I enjoy this one quite a bit. I think a lot of you might like this one as well. If you haven't checked it out, I would definitely recommend it. That's Iron Spell with Electric Conjuring. Next up, we have another sludgy, kind of progressive doom, sludgy, post metal. I guess they definitely go into that post metal vibe at times as well. This is Iron Thrones with Visions of Light. This is a band out of Minneapolis. This is their debut full length. They have a follow up to this that came out as well, but out of the two full lengths in their discography, this is definitely the one that I would check out if you're looking to get into something like this. I like this one quite a bit more than the sophomore release. This was released on Tribunal Records. I'm trying to see, 2009, so it's been out for a little while. But out of the two full lengths in their discography, I would definitely go with this Visions of Light because it is a pretty solid release. Next up, we have some pagan, I guess, black metal out of Brazil. This is Iron Woods with Ancient Faith. This is the third full length from this band. It came out in, I'm not sure when this album actually came out. It's been out for a little bit. They have some other material that's come out after this. Very folky style black metal, as you can probably gather from the artwork and the general aesthetic going on here. I do enjoy this. I would like to pick up some more of their material. I was looking to see if I saw a date on this, but I'm not seeing one. But you wouldn't expect, for me, I mean, it's kind of a stereotyping, I guess. But I wouldn't expect to hear something like this coming out of Brazil. When I think of Brazil, I don't, pagan black metal is not the first thing that pops in my head. But this is a really solid release. I did like this. I would like to hear some more Iron Woods material at some point in the future. Next up, we have some Dutch melodic black metal. This is the only release that this band ever put out, and it's kind of a cult classic. I would definitely recommend getting your hands on this one if you can find it, if you're into melodic black metal. This is Iscariot with Horror Vacui. This is the only release that the band ever put out. Came out all the way back in 1998, so it is some classic stuff. Man, I dig this. I love this album, and so glad to have it in the collection. I'm sure it's probably hard to get your hands on now, but if you can find this and you're into melodic black, I highly recommend hunting this one down. If you find them, I'm sure they're not just super expensive anyway, but definitely check that one out. A lot of you may have not heard that one, and if you haven't, then definitely take the time to check that one out, because I dig that one quite a bit. Next up, we have some melodic death metal / metalcore from a band under the same moniker. This is Iscariot with Lifeless Design. Pretty solid. This came out in 2006. I think this is the only full length that this band ever put out as well. I do like it. I mean, it's not going to be the first thing that I grab off the shelf anytime that I want to grab something, but I did enjoy it for what it was. I got this for super cheap when I purchased it, and it was definitely worth the kind of price of admission that I paid for it. I actually enjoyed it a bit more than I expected to. I thought I was going to get some kind of like cheesy deathcore, but this turned out to be pretty solid. Next up, we have some folk metal out of Baltimore, Maryland. This is Eisen Moore with their Land of the Setting Sun EP. I absolutely love this. I received this in a Metalhead box way back. It was one of my, not the first Metalhead box that I got, but it was one of the very early Metalhead boxes that I ever received. And I absolutely love this. They have a couple covers on this EP. They do a Luvietti cover and an Ensiferum cover, but I like the band's original material. They do some acoustic versions of two of their songs. The acoustic version of So Willingly Deceived is absolutely fantastic. Cannot scream the praises of this EP enough. It's definitely one of my favorite pieces in the collection, and that's wild. I have the follow-up full length to that entitled Shield Brother. I didn't enjoy this one as much as I enjoyed that EP. I don't know, maybe it was just the fact that I loved that EP so much that the full length let me down a little bit. I know I've seen like reviews and stuff where people thought that this was a big step up from the EP. So, I mean, different strokes for different folks. I mean, I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's a bad full length by any means, but that just the Land of the Setting Sun EP was just where it's at as far as Eisen Moore material is for me. But Shield Brother is still a capable full length and a solid release in its own right. Next up, we have some black metal out of Sweden. I'm going to butcher this. This is Eastgard with Jag Enslig Ska Ga. This is the debut full-length from this band. They have one other full-length that came out after this. This one was released in 2016 on Symbol of Domination Records and Black Plague Records. Kind of a dual label release. Pretty good. I haven't picked up their latter material, but this is pretty solid. Can get a little abrasive at times. Not quite as atmospheric as you would expect. Just looking at the artwork and stuff going on, it does have a bit more of a kind of a sting and abrasiveness to it. Next up, we have some Russian black metal. This one was sent to me in a VCLT from Rick. He gets shouted out on this channel all the time just because he is one of the most generous people I've ever met in my life. But I guess I haven't physically met him, but I've met him through doing this channel and social media as a whole. And he's definitely one of the most generous people that I've ever had the pleasure of coming across. And he sent me this. This is some Russian kind of progressive black metal, avant-garde black metal. Teeters into that atmospheric black metal realm as well, and he knows that I love me some obscure Russian black metal, and I think that's why he sent me this, and I absolutely love this, and I'm going to butcher the name on it, so I'm just going to apologize right up front. This is Izgard Morth with Heldruk. Yeah, but this is pretty awesome. If someone wants to check this out, I can type that band name out in the description for you guys, because I know I butchered the album title and the band name, but I really like this. I dig the shit out of this, and I'm so thankful that he sent me this. This is something that I probably never would have heard otherwise. The artwork and everything is just it's so different, and I love obscure kind of weird stuff like this, and that was a phenomenal find that he sent to me. So I am eternally thankful for that. Next up, we have some more sludgy, progressive style stuff. There's a lot of sludge in this portion of the CD collection. This album came out while I was in high school. This is definitely my favorite full length from this band. I'm probably in the minority saying that this is my favorite release from them, but I absolutely love this release. This is Isis with Celestial. I still remember buying my first copy of this album. This is not the first time that I've owned it. This was in a bundle of stuff that disappeared of mine, and I had to go out and repurchase this. But I absolutely love this album. When I had it the first time, it was probably the original pressing, came in a jewel case, and but that's enough about that. But I absolutely love it. It gets a little. This one has almost an industrial feel at times, which is kind of weird me saying that this is my favorite album, because you guys know I'm not the biggest industrial person, but it has that sludgy. Here in the South, we love us some sludge metal, so it just, I don't know, it just feels like industrial, mechanical sludge metal, and it just fires on all cylinders, pardon the pun on that, but I absolutely love this release, and I can't scream the praises of Celestial enough. The follow-up to that was super solid as well. This is Isis with Oceanic. I'm not going to pull the CD out because it's just in one of these little fold-out wallets. There's a lot of people that look at this one as probably their favorite release, or the follow-up, the third full-length entitled Panopticon. Unfortunately, I don't have that one anymore. I thought I had it. I went to pull it off the shelf, and it's not there. So I'll have to go back and re-pick up that Panopticon full-length, because it's very solid as well. Those three are probably like top, like God-tier level Isis. For me, they fell off a little bit after that. The follow-up to that, In the Absence of Truth, Nothing is True, Everything is Permitted. I wasn't real big on this one. They got a little, a bit too progressive for my personal taste. It's not a bad release, but it just didn't feel up to par with the previous three full lengths. And then we had the Holy Tears. Oh no, this, I don't have Holy Tears anymore. This is Not in Rivers but in Drops EP. This one's okay. I may have had that upside down. Yeah, I had it backwards and upside down. I'm in shambles over here. This one's okay as well. Not anything just to write home about. I do like it more than the In the Absence of Truth full length. Then we have the full length entitled Wavering Radiant. I'm not going to pull the CD out on this one either, because it's one of those fold out style wallets. This one was pretty good. It was kind of a throwback to that Oceanic Panopticon kind of vibe going on. All of them have these kind of weird themes going on for the album, but this one was pretty solid as well. So I don't really have complaints on Wavering Radiant. Let me do some repositioning here, and we will continue on. Next up, we have some black metal out of Serbia, and I'm going to butcher this. All of the album titles are in Russian, so there's no way that I'm going to be able to tell you the album titles. I'll just show each of the albums. This is a band called Iskcon, and this is their debut full length. I own all three of their full lengths. As you can see, very nature-driven black metal. All of their albums have that kind of nature-driven theme. I wouldn't go out and say that it's like pagan-themed or, I guess, pagan black metal or atmospheric, although it does have sprinkles of those elements in all of their material. This is the second full-length. I mean, you can look at this and there's you know that you're getting some black metal, and the aesthetic that each of these albums show from the artwork and stuff, the band is able to capture in the music. So when you see there's a few bands that can really do that can just kind of capture the theme and put it all together with the artwork and everything to make this one general aesthetic that goes on within the album in an entirety, and they're able to do that, which really helps for me because the fact that it's all not in English and I don't know what they're singing about or anything. It's nice just to be able to look through the stuff while I'm listening to the music and it just feel like it goes together. And then I have their third full length. This one has a bit more of a folky vibe going on, and you can kind of gather that from the artwork on this as well. All three of these full lengths were released through Blackness Production. Pretty solid stuff here as well. So definitely check out Iskcon. It's Iskon. If that looks like something that would possibly be up your alley. Next up, we have a technical death metal EP that I think everyone should get their hands on if they can find it. It's very short, but it is absolutely awesome. This is Isolation and Infamy with their, I think this is a self-titled EP. Came out, it's been out for a while. Came out pre-2010, I'm sure. Probably 2008 or 2009, if I had to guess. Has Andy Nelson on vocals. He's in Fold Darkness. Was in Abysmal Dawn, I think, or maybe that's the Abysmal Torment, or I think it was Abysmal Dawn that he was a part of at some time. But I definitely know Andy. Well, I don't know Andy, but when I think of Andy Nelson, I think of Fold Darkness. But Isolation and Infamy, man, this was just a ripper of an EP. Absolutely phenomenal. If you can find this for a decent price, I would say grab it, scoop it up, because it is just blistering technical death metal, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Next up, we have a band that I'm kind of slacking on. This is a Greek black metal project. This is Isolert with their debut EP entitled Isolated Soul. Absolutely love this. And I keep telling myself that I'm going to pick up some more Isolert material, and I haven't done so. I think they have 2 full lengths under their belt already. Lots of demo and EP materials, and I don't know why I haven't sought out more of their stuff. And I've even told myself that I'm going to go buy some Isolert, and I just haven't done it. So at some point in the future, I need to definitely rectify that and get on the ball, because just some killer misanthropic, I guess, black metal out of Greece. Next up, we have some more black metal. This is a band out of Singapore. This is, I'm going to butcher this one as well, Eastgard, with 24 years of blasphemic supremacy, 1993 through 2017. This is a compilation, obviously, from the, you can get that from the album title, spanning the band's entire career. Has bits and pieces of full lengths, singles, EP materials, demo materials, covers, a little bit of everything. There's 19 tracks on this release, but it's pretty solid black metal. I mean, it's very dark themed. I mean, you can kind of perverse themed, as you can see just from the artwork there. But if you're into that nasty, filthy, just black and debauchery, then I think you will be into this one as well. Next up, we have a band out of Spain. This is some more pagan style black metal, folky black metal. A lot of that in this particular update as well. Not update, but portion of the collection. This is It Nouveth with Anun Eilish. Yeah. As I said, this is more pagan black metal, folky. You kind of have that Tolkien thing going on there. Very, very easy to see that with the dragon, and then you have the guy with the corpse paint fighting a dragon. Pretty solid release. They have quite a few other releases in their discography, but this is the only one that I've picked up. I think I got this off of Paragon Records a little while ago. I think that's where I picked this one up from. Not entirely sure on that. Next up, we have a Viking death metal band out of Germany. This is Iura Mentum with The Awakening. This band reminds me a lot of Amon Amarth. I don't know if that's what they were going for here. This was released on Northfire Records, But when a band gets that big, you're going to have influence that starts to bleed over into other projects. It's not a Amon Amarth ripoff or anything. I just kind of feel the influence from that band in this band's material, but it's pretty solid on their. I mean, they're able to stand on their own ground, and they do have some originality that is put into this as well. But pretty decent there, slab of death metal / Viking metal. Next up, I have another band out of Germany. This is Ivanburg with Leben Heist Sturben. This is melodic blackened death metal, and this is definitely a solid release. Think I picked this one up from Paragon Records as well. I do enjoy this one. It was either Paragon Records or Red Stream that I grabbed this one from, but pretty solid. They have some other full lengths in their discography as well. This is a band that I definitely wouldn't mind revisiting and digging a little bit deeper into their discography. I do like some blackened death metal, and when you can kind of bring in the melodic elements into the music as well, that's something that I can get behind there. Next up, we have a atmospheric doom metal band out of France. They at times lead into, it almost feels funeral doomy, but it doesn't have like the funeral dirge elements. It's just that slow atmospheric style of doom metal. This is Izian with Through the Space We Die. This is a kind of just cardboard sleeve reissue. It was kind of a bonus disc with an order of their debut full length. It came out in 2007, but this little card sleeve version came out in 2017. I didn't buy this on its own. It actually came with another one of their full lengths as like a bonus disc, so I didn't mind it being in the little cardboard cover so terribly much. Next up, this is definitely my favorite release from this band, period. This is Izian with To the Void. I absolutely love this album. This was the release that kind of made me fall in love with this band. This was released on Avant-Garde Music in 2011. If you wanted to check something out from Ixion, it's Ixion is the way that you spell the band name. This one, To the Void, is the album that I would personally start on. There's a track on here called New Heaven. I think you can find that on YouTube and give it a listen. I think that's actually how I found this. It just popped up on a recommended as a recommended video on YouTube, and I listened to New Heaven, and then I was hooked from that one track. This album, I can throw this on anytime. I don't have to be, a lot of times I have to be in a certain mood to listen to certain things. This is a good enough release that you can put it on and you're going to be in the mood to listen to it regardless of what your mood is, how you're feeling at the time. Next up, I have Return. I think this is the one that bonus disc came with. This was also Ixion. The next one is as well. This was released under Finisterian Dead End. I believe that's a French label as well. Killer stuff. They have one full length that I don't own. It came out between the two that I just showed, and at some point I will grab it as well. And then I have their latest full length entitled Ladue au Etoile. Etoile, yeah. And this one is very spacey. All their stuff is sky and spacey themed. It kind of almost looks like Born of Osiris artwork on this one, but the music sounds nothing like Born of Osiris, so don't get worried looking at it. Just atmospheric, at times beautiful, at times abrasive, just doom metal, that just very melancholy stuff, and I absolutely love it. And then we're going to finish up with some more Russian pagan black metal, might as well, because you guys know I love that stuff. This is Isma Rose with a Russian title that I cannot pronounce. I think Rick may have sent me this one as well, so he gets a double dose of shout out. If he didn't send me this one, then someone else did, and I apologize for just lumping it in to thinking Rick sent it, but he sends me so much stuff that it's easy just to say, hey, Rick sent me this one, and like 90% of the time I'm probably right. This was a limited edition, number 70 of 100, and very solid style of pagan black, has some atmospheric elements as well, and folky, definitely some folky stuff going on. So that's it for this section. Next week we will be in the J's, and it'll be nice to actually be out of the I's. Thanks for bearing with me. I did take last Sunday off. Almost took this Sunday off with all this going on, but I figured since I neglected you guys last week, I would knock this one out this week. At some point, I'll show the Paragon orders that I got in and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you soon. Stay classy, stay metal, all that good stuff, and I will be back here soon.